Prof.
Hi
Elsie
guys!
Cabral.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am Professor Elsie Munoz Cabral from the Central Luzon College of Science and Technology, CELTEC, Olongapo City Campus. And our course is Understanding the Self. For today's discussion, we shall be talking about the different
Sociological
sociological
perspective of
perspective
the
of the
self.
self. That is, the self as a product of the society. And to start off, we shall have a review on what we have previously discussed in Chapter 1. Why is there a need for us to understand the self? What is its importance? What is its purpose? And we said that self-awareness is important because when we have a better understanding of ourselves, we are able to experience ourselves as a unique and separate individuals. Also, we are empowered to make changes and to build on our areas of strength as well as identify the areas where we would like to make some improvement. So what is the self? We said, number one, the self is separate, meaning it means that the self is distinct from other selves. The self is always unique and has its own identity. Remember this, one cannot be another person. Second, the self is contained and independent. It means that it does not require any other self for it to exist. Third, the self is consistent. The self has a personality that is enduring. Its consistency allows it to be studied, to be measured, and consistency also allows that a particular self-trait or characteristics and potentialities are more or less the same, so consistent. Fourth, self is unitary, meaning it is the center of all experiences and thoughts that run through a certain person. This is like the chief command post in an individual, where all the processes and emotions and thoughts converge. And last one, the self is private, meaning each person sorts out informations, feelings, and emotions within the self. And this whole process is never accessible to anyone but the self. So for our first activity, I call it hashtag myself through the years challenge. And this is the mechanics. First, look out in your old photo albums. Meron pa ba? Ang litrato ninyo when you were in the elementary. Second, tanongin nyo kay nanay, Nay, may naitabi pa ba kayong picture ko nung high school? And third, yung litrato ninyo ngayon. So, tatlo yan. Elementary days na picture nyo, high school days, and your college life ngayon. Now, under these three labels, you shall have three columns. The first column would be, tingnan niyo yung litrato, tatlong litrato. What are the similarities that you can see in these stages of your life? Second column, what do you think are the differences that you can see across the different stages of your life? Tingnan niyo yung pagkakaiba. May pagkakaiba ba sa litrato na nailagay nyo o napili ninyo? Elementary days, high school days, and your college life. And the third column would be, what do you think are the possible reasons why there are some changes or differences in you? So again, that's our first activity. It will be called hashtag myself through the years challenge. And we shall be incorporating this to our discussion for today. Sociology. What is sociology? Sociology is defined as the study of social life, social change, and the social causes and consequences of human behavior. So sa Tagalog po or Filipino, ang sabi po, ito ay isang pang-agham na pag-aaral ng lipunan ng tao. So tayo yun. Pinagmulan nito, pag-unlad, mga organisasyong nakapaloob dito, at mga institusyon. So in short, the society or the lipunan na tinatawag ay mga grupo ng tao. Ikaw, ako, sila, tayo na nagsasama-sama at naghahati-hati sa isang teritoryo. Teritoryo ng ano? Teritoryo ng Pilipinas. At may sinusunod na batas o regulasyon. So malinaw yan. Sino naman ang mga nag-aaral tungkol sa agham o sensya na ito? So, sociology, sociologist ang mga tao. The sociologists investigate the structure of groups, organizations, and societies and how people interact within this context. What about the sociological perspective? At sabi ko nga kanina, 3 sociological perspective ang tatalakayin natin ngayon. Kay George Smith, kay Cooley, at kay Goffman. So the basic insight of sociology is that human behavior, ang pag-uugali daw natin, no, ang mga galaw natin, is being shaped by the groups to which people belong and by the social interaction that takes place within those groups. The sociological perspective invites us to look at our familiar surroundings in a fresh way. Now let's start off with George Herbert Mead, who said that the self is not biological but social, meaning the self does not depend on biological predisposition. Instead, the self is a product of social interaction. So ang atin palang sarili ay dahil sa ating pakikisalamuha sa iba't ibang mga tao. And according to Mead, there are 3 stages of development. The first stage would be the imitation or preparatory stage. The second is the play stage, and the third is the game stage. What is the imitation stage? Diba, sabi natin dun sa chapter 1, no? Sabi ni David Hume, diba? At birth, the mind daw is in a blank state. Tabula rasa. So that as we grow along, this blank state o blank stage na tinatawag na yan, nagkakaroon na yan ng karunungan, nagkakaroon na yan ng kaalaman, wherein the child now imitates whatever behavior that he or she can see. Halimbawa, sweeping the floor. Nakikita niya kayo, nakikita niya nanay natin na nagwawalis tuwing umaga. So, ang tendency is, pag nakakita yan ng walis, kukunin niya yan at siya mismo magwawalis. So, that child learns through imitation. Play stage. Dito naman, mapapansin natin, at alam ko, naranasan nyo rin ito, no? Kung ang tatay ninyo ay isang karpentero, no? Siya rin, gusto niya maging karpentero. The child may also act as a teacher or as a driver. So, nagkakaroon sila ng play stage. Naglalaro sila. Ito, sige, ako ang karpentero. O ako naman ang teacher. While on the game stage, the child come to see at the perspective of other people. Sasabihin ng bata, ay, matalino yan. Ay, ang batang yan matalino. She is creative. Mahusay siya. No? But in the game stage, there is a set of rules to follow. No? Samantalang sa imitation, wala. Sa play stage, wala rin. In the game stage, the child now has to follow a certain rule. Mead also says that there are three phases of the self. That is the I, the me, and the generalized other. In the I stage, ako, it says that the I is unsocialized and is spontaneous, meaning it is the response of the organism to the attitude of the others. Ako ito. No one impose a certain rule to me. This is me. This is my reaction. It is spontaneous. In the me self, it is the organization of the internalized attitude of others. So in short, medyo pumapasok na dyan yung socialization. It is more on the socialized aspect of the individual. Pagkaharap yung iba ang pinoportray niya. So taliwas doon sa dapat niyang gawin. Sa I self kasi eto ako. No? Pero sa me self or me phases of self, ito ang grupo na kinabibilangan ko. Kung ganun, ito ang dapat kong gawin. Ito ang dapat kong i-acto. And the third is the generalized other, which is, sabi rito, it is the best known concept of Mead that describe as organized community or social group. Halimbawa, sasali kayo sa isang grupo, sa isang dance troupe or dance group. Ayan. You now work as a team. Hindi kayo pwedeng mag-solo. Dapat yan. Halimbawa, sa choir. Di ba alam naman natin, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Ayan. Baka mamaya, sabi ni sir, mi ang tono mo, ikaw nag-do. Sira na yung tono. Di ba? Sa basketball team kaya. Sa basketball team, merong forward, may center, may taga-dribble. Hindi yung nakuha mo yung bola, o ano na lang ang gusto mo. So, you work as a team. Meron tinatawag na teamwork. Hindi one work. Ayan. So, our second is Charles Horton Cooley. Ito yung very famous, no, sa kanyang looking glass self. So, what is a looking glass self? Looking glass self is a social psychological concept wherein the self is developed as a result of one's perception of other person's opinion. Iba naman ito, no? Looking glass self. This is you, pero iba ang nakikita sa iyo. Okay. Now, looking glass self is more of a mirror, salamin. A mirror for perceiving ourselves. Now, mahalaga rito, alam nyo, yung tinatawag na self-identity or self-image. How do you appear to others? Diba? Ito kayo. Pero, ang tingin na iba sa inyo ay iba. So, how do you present yourself to others? Ano pa? What do you think others think of you? So, in short, how others perceive you. So, So, looking glass self. And how do we think of ourselves? That is, what is our image? What image do you create? What image do you portray? So, Cooley's looking glass self is more as a description or our reflection of how we think we appear to others. If parents or teachers praise the child for his artistic skills, the child's confidence will be boosted, di ba? So the self is built through social interaction. People, take note ha, people imagine how they must appear to others. Di ba masyadong ma-conscious eh. Naku, kinakailangan pag alis ko ng bahay, maganda ako. Naku, kinakailangan paglabas ko ng bahay, meron akong hikaw, meron akong ganyan, naka-retouch ako. They imagine the judgment on their appearance. Mas mahalaga sa kanila, naku, baka sabihin nila, hindi bagay ang damit ko. Naku, yung sapatos ko ba, terno ba sa damit ko? Yung kuko ko ba ay well polished? Baka mamaya sintunado. Sabihin, yung color hindi kapareho o hindi nagja-jibe sa kasuotan mo. Masyadong meticuloso. Yung iba sasabihin natin, masyadong vanidoso. So, they develop themselves through the judgment of others. Ayan, diba sabi natin, bawal judgmental. Pero tayo, makita lang natin yung tao, ay, hala, bla 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 bla. You see that? Mas mahalaga sa atin kung ano ang sasabihin ng tao. Sometimes hindi na siya healthy, no? Kasi gusto man natin, ito ang gusto kong isuot, kaya lang baka sabihin nila, you know, mas importante sa atin yung ating status symbol. Yan. So yan, si Charles Horton Cooley. And our last sociologist is Irving Goffman. Theory of social interaction. The theory of social interaction refers as the dramaturgical model of social life. Sabi niya rito, social interaction may be likened to a theater and people in everyday life to actors on a stage, each playing a variety of roles. I remember nung kay Shakespeare, no, during our college days, di ba? Minsan nabanggit niya, hindi lang to exact na sinabi niya, pero parang the world is but a stage. Yan, ang mundo daw ay isang parang teatro, no? And the actors, no? The actors, tayo daw yun. Parang ako, si Ma'am Sininyo. Ito ang papel na aking pinoportray o ginagampanan sa mundong ito na isang teatro. So, each playing a variety of roles. Goffman was the 73rd president of the American Sociological Association, and his best-known contribution to social theory is his study of symbolic interaction. Now, let us summarize. So, sabi ni George Smith, the self is not biological but social. Sabi naman ni Charles Horton Cooley, our self is more of a mirror, no? A mirror for what? For perceiving ourselves. It would be critical if given unfavorable remarks. So take note, bawal judgmental. And si Irving Goffman naman, sabi niya, our theory of the self is that our self is more of a social interaction. So tatlo yan na kinuha o napag-aralan natin ngayon, at that sums up or wraps up our discussion for today sa three different perception or perspective of looking the self sociologically. Again, this is Ma'am C. Cabral saying, have a nice day.
Thank you, Pao, and
Hanggang sa
God
susunod
bless.
po nating video. God bless po. Love you.